France is one of the 3 world leaders in arms exports. It has about 11% of the world's arms exports, and this figure is still growing. The largest importers of French weapons are India, Qatar, and Egypt. This is approximately 56% of all French weapons supplied. In general, the Republic supplies its weapons to about 130 countries. France is one of the few European NATO countries that have an independent military-industrial complex and practically do not participate in providing the American military industry. After all, there is absolutely no need to purchase F-35 fighters made in the USA, if there are French quite competitive, Rafale. And now, in the share of French arms exports, this combat aircraft has a significant volume of sales. In various modifications, the fighter is delivered to Egypt, India, Qatar, Greece, the United Arab Emirates and Indonesia. Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, Colombia, Malaysia and Croatia are considering the acquisition. The main features of the most modern version of the F-4 fighter: the possibility of using a wide range of guided weapons for air, land and sea targets, including long-range cruise missiles of the Scalp type, conducting reconnaissance and operations in a common digital information space with other aircraft, ground and naval forces. There is a deck version of the fighter, but so far this aircraft is available only to the French Navy. The cost in the basic configuration is about $90 million. The NIVAL Group shipbuilding concern is one of the most successful military exporters of ships in the world. Scorpena-class submarines are supplied to India, Brazil, Malaysia and Chile, and several other countries are considering their acquisition. This is a diesel-electric submarine with an air-independent power plant. Displacement, depending on modifications, is up to 1,900 tons. The autonomy is approximately 50 days. The armament includes torpedoes of various types, anti-ship and anti-aircraft missiles, as well as mines. The cost is more than $500 million. FREMM-type frigates are in service with Egypt, Italy, and Morocco. And Lafayette-class frigates are supplied to Saudi Arabia, Taiwan and Singapore. The features of the ships of these types are a combined diesel-electric or turbine power plant. All the equipment of the ship is controlled by a common automated control system. The armament includes Scalp cruise missiles for hitting ground targets. Anti-ship weapons are represented by Exocet guided missiles. Air defense is provided by Aster-15 and Aster-30 anti-aircraft missiles. The artillery armament includes 76 and 127 mm guns that allow firing guided volcano ammunition and projectiles with programmable detonation and ready-made striking elements. This allows the use of guns to defeat both ground and air targets. All weapons are controlled by the SETIS Combat Information and Control System. Egypt has 2 French Mistral helicopter carriers in service, previously intended for the Russian Navy. The ship can carry about 30 helicopters and about 500 Marines. The cost of one ship is from 6 to 700 million euros. The Leclerc tank, in addition to France itself, is in service with the United Arab Emirates and Jordan. At the same time, the fleet of Emirati tanks exceeds the French in number. The possibility of supplying upgraded Leclerc XLR tanks to India and Croatia is being considered. The upgraded version of the tank includes additional modular armor and new electronics, including the Thales tactical radio system, which provides network automated interaction in the group, new commander and gunner sights, a combined navigation system, inertial and satellite and combat information and control system Scorpene. To protect against guided weapons, the tank is equipped with a laser irradiation warning system and a system for setting aerosol curtains. This is the most fragile NATO tank and its cost is more than $10 million. The VAB Armored Combat Vehicle, which can be used in variants of armored personnel carriers, command vehicles, self-propelled mortars, anti-tank systems and electronic warfare systems, is in service with 17 countries, including Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and African countries. Qatar, Morocco and Cameroon have the AMX-10 combat vehicle with heavy weapons, which is planned to be decommissioned in France. The new Jaguar combat reconnaissance vehicle is currently being delivered only to Belgium. Caesar self-propelled artillery is widely exported. Currently it is supplied to Denmark, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Thailand and Ukraine. Deliveries to 6 more countries are being considered. SAMP-T anti-aircraft missile systems and Aster-type missiles capable of intercepting various types of air targets from aircraft to anti-ship missiles at ranges up to 120 kilometers are exported to 7 countries, including the UK, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and others. Delivery to Canada, Turkey and Sweden is being considered. Other weapons and equipment are also exported. Small arms, anti-tank and anti-aircraft missile systems, equipment, means of support. The share of arms imports in France is not large and consists mainly of multiple rocket launchers, transport, refueling, training aircraft and drones, mainly of American or joint European production. Thus, France has a developed and self-sufficient military-industrial complex. However, in order to be able to equip their armed forces with the latest weapons, there is a need to export weapons abroad. Despite the seemingly close allied relations, such independence does not quite suit the United States, whose foreign policy is largely based on maintaining and developing its own economy and military industry in particular. And it is precisely on the deterrence of competitors that American control over arms exports in the world is based. As an example, the breakdown of the deal between France and Australia for $66 billion for the supply of French submarines of the Barracuda type can be cited. As a result of Washington's actions, Australia, having broken the agreement with France, changed its decision in favor of American submarines of the Los Angeles type. All this, of course, happened under the pretext of creating the so-called New Pacific Alliance AUKUS, which included the United States, Great Britain and Australia. Well, subscribe to the channel, rate the video, write comments, see you soon.